First look at the forecast. Good morning.
Good morning, you two. I don't know about you, but I had a fantastic weekend. The weather had a lot to do with it. It was absolutely fantastic. Hopefully you and your family were able to enjoy the great outdoors with that beautiful low humidity weather. Still some low humidity this morning. You'll notice that the breeze is still coming in from the north and east, and that is still a dry wind for us. Now, we do anticipate the winds will begin shifting, coming in from the Gulf, and that will be the onset, the beginning of some changes and some transition in our weather beginning on this Monday. We're at 62 degrees. Temperature readings are running a couple degrees warmer this morning, and you'll notice that the winds at times could be breezy. By this afternoon, could see gusts anywhere between 20 to 25 miles per hour. Some of these winds may accompany a few scattered thunderstorms. We do return with a wet and active weather pattern that will begin for some starting today. Out the door this morning, still have some 50s on the map. Thankfully, you'll be able to enjoy this morning with some lower humidity. Mid-60s in Sugar Land. Bay City, good morning to you, in the 60s. Also down in Brazoria County, you're in those 60s. Galveston, not so much. Starting off this morning with 73 degrees. And you can see that the trend this morning are those temperature readings are starting to start off a little bit warmer. Now, we have some fair weather clouds moving through the area. Nothing falling from these clouds. We're in between storm systems for us this morning. And what's going to happen here is this storm system out west, this is going to be our next rainmaker. Some strong thunderstorms will be arriving as early as tomorrow. Some strong to severe weather returns on Tuesday, along with the potential for some flooding. So ABC13 weather watch is in place for your Tuesday. So look for clouds building later on this morning into the afternoon hours. Won't get much sunshine as we get into the afternoon. You'll get some widely scattered downpours, and it does look like areas north of Interstate 10, you've got a better chance of seeing a messy evening commute. South of I-10, it looks a little bit more isolated. But of course, in this type of scenario, you can always see that shift a little bit closer toward Interstate 10. But just know that best chance of seeing those widely scattered downpours will come during the afternoon, early evening hours, with a lot of that beginning to lift up to the north. So here's how I've broken down that hour-by-hour forecast. Temperature reading staying into the 60s for a good few hours, and then we slowly start to see the increase in those temperatures, and along with the increase in those temperatures, increasing rain chances throughout the afternoon and even during the evening hours. You can see that hour-by-hour forecast going even further than those 12 hours to help you plan your evening. You've got some widely scattered downpours. It's not going to be widespread, but they are going to be scattered in nature, and there is a chance for some of that rain to be on the heavier side. Coming up, we're going to break down the latest on that storm chance as we get into the overnight hours and into your Tuesday. That weather maker bringing some widespread rains and storms to the Lone Star State. That flood risk going up. Already seeing some flood watches for parts of southeast Texas. I've got all that information coming up in my full weather.
Elita, thank you.
For today, we got a nice respite from the showers and thunderstorms after a very active Friday. Now we turn our attention to another wet and stormy weather pattern returning for the work and school week. It's going to last for a few days. Some of our computer models are drying us out as early as Friday. We'll hold off on dropping those rain chances completely since we are a few days out. But just know it is going to stay very active, especially highlighting Tuesday and Wednesday. Really focused on Tuesday because the potential for severe thunderstorms looks to be likely, along with the potential for some flooding. It's not going to be widespread, but there's definitely going to be areas more favorable for that street flooding to occur, and where some of those creeks and bayous are going to be taking on some water at a rapid pace versus others. So we have issued an ABC13 weather watch for Tuesday. You can see that the flood risk increases by tomorrow, a level 2, even a level 3 in our far northeast counties. So we're talking the Piney Woods region, San Jacinto, Polk County. Some of these areas still very saturated from where we were last week. Thankfully, we did get a full weekend to dry out. Now, the National Weather Service has gone ahead and already issued several counties in our viewing area. In our northern counties, Grimes County, Brazos, also looking at Walker County, San Jacinto, Polk County, and areas to the north for a flood watch that begins tomorrow. And if you're traveling into Louisiana, we also have counties counties going into Louisiana. So Jefferson, Orange County also under a flood watch, as well as southwest Louisiana. So several counties even east there. Most areas picking up between 1 to 3 inches, but there will be those isolated pockets of over 4, even 5 inches of rain. We're not going to get that today. There will be isolated locations that pick up maybe close to an inch, maybe an inch and a half. Otherwise, most areas along Interstate 10 down along the coastline, it's less than 1/10 of an inch. That's today. Going into Tuesday, as we get more widespread showers and thunderstorms moving in, you can see that the areas favored for those higher rainfall totals should stay north of Interstate 10. We're talking areas like Brenham, Navasota, College Station. But that plume of moisture begins to shift southward, and we are going to see more widespread heavy rains coming in on Wednesday. So there is a chance that we may have to extend that ABC 13 weather watch into Wednesday as well. Let's see how Tuesday plays out. But we know, along with the flood risk, a severe weather threat. For today, it's mainly west of Interstate 45 as we get into the afternoon hours. By tomorrow, that severe weather threat doesn't only expand to include all of southeast Texas. Now we're seeing an upgrade, a level 2 out of 5. And if you remember last week on Friday, we saw the same scenario where we saw the strong and severe thunderstorms coming into play across much of the area. This hatched area, that means that we could be dealing with golf ball size hail yet again. There's still going to be some damaging winds and also the potential for some rotating storms. So all weather parameters, all weather threats are on the table. This is the storm system that's going to bring us that widespread rain and thunderstorms. It's still far enough away today where we're going to see maybe some isolated rains and then scattered thunderstorms later on this afternoon. You'll notice a lot of blue. That's just some ground clutter, a lot of moisture there. Otherwise, mostly cloudy conditions, 62 degrees. Currently feels fantastic as you step outside. Not quite the 50s that we were over the weekend, but there's a few spots still in the 50s this morning. Unfortunately, not the case down in Galveston where you're waking up to 73 degrees. You'll notice the breeze will be picking up today, 25 mile per hour gusts, a possibility. It looks most common, but there will be those isolated spots picking up 30, even 35 mile per hour gusts. So plan on a breezy afternoon. Clouds will be returning this afternoon. Here comes those scattered showers and thunderstorms. You'll notice those oranges and reds. Those are those isolated, strong, even severe thunderstorms that will be possible as we go into the afternoon and evening hours. As we lose the daytime heat, we lose the main ingredients to allow these thunderstorms to remain intact, to sustain themselves. So the thunderstorms will be weakening overnight. Then we've got a warm front moving in, and this warm front will be the focus point of some heavy rain tomorrow. You can see that heavy band of rain coming in around 12 o'clock on Tuesday. So those outdoor plans are going to be compromised, dodging some downpours heading into the afternoon hours, and then this will be sliding eastward. Still looking for a line of showers and storms that may come into play just in time for the evening commute. So do expect Tuesday is going to be very active afternoon, and we do anticipate that activity to continue on Wednesday as well. Starting off the morning, nice and comfortable by this afternoon in the upper 70s to low 80s. As we roll out the 10-day, you'll notice that the highest rain chances are going to be front-loaded at the beginning of the forecast. So we just need to get through the beginning part of the week. And then as we get closer toward the weekend, those storm chances fall. By the weekend, not completely rain-free right now at about 20%, but it should be perfect for mom as those temperature readings drop behind a weak front that crosses the area. We've got a northerly breeze that should send temperatures back down into the lower 60s with highs in the low 80s, guys.
Well, enough. And ooh, we need to talk about, can we go back? Let's talk about this weekend.
Rewind it. Play it again.
Spectacular.
Yes,
weather.
I felt popular because people are like, hey, this weather is fantastic. I said, well, you know.
Yeah.
I just
Thanks to you.
Whole meteorology team, but anyway.
Exactly.
Now, we did have to get through a little bit of a stormy cycle to get to that weekend. It's sort of setting itself up again for this week.
Exactly, Jeff. Here we are. We're back to it on this Monday morning. It's going to get active again, but just in time for Mother's Day weekend. It looks like the stormy pattern that we're going to have this week is going to clear. So hang in there. It looks like we're not done yet with some beautiful weather. I think it's coming our way later on this week. 62 degrees out the door. We've got a light breeze coming in out of the north and east. So that's a dry, low humidity wind, and that means that's going to set us up for another nice start to the morning. You'll notice the winds will start to pick up as we get into the afternoon. Winds gusting today between 20 to 25 miles miles per hour. And with some of the thunderstorms that'll be blowing through later on today, there could be some stronger gusts that accompany those storms. Still a few spots reporting temperature readings in the 50s. Feels really nice this morning, waking up in Brenham, Navasota, Conroe, all in the 50s, 56 degrees right now in Cleveland. Those of you having your cup of joe, maybe later on this morning, it's in the low 60s around Pearland, waking up in Dickinson, Alvin, also in the low 60s this morning. We are anticipating temperature readings to be a little bit warmer this morning as the wind has shifted more out of the east, so it's keeping temperatures from cooling off. And overnight tonight, that breeze is going to be flowing in more from the Gulf. So by tomorrow morning, those temperatures will be closer to the low 70s versus the 50s and 60s. Just some high thin clouds. We're in between storm systems. We've got one storm system now over the Tennessee Valley. There's some drier air blowing in on the backside of this. Leading edge of some rain now is starting to move across the panhandle. But this is our next rainmaker here. You can see the rain and the clouds will slowly start to increase west of Interstate 45 and then eventually approach the Houston area closer to the evening commute. This is where we've got you down for a 40% chance of some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. So not everybody getting in on the mix of rain and thunderstorms today. A lot of those showers and thunderstorms start to subside once we get closer toward 9, 10 o'clock this evening. So we've got those rain chances climbing at about 40% later on today with highs in the low 80s, but they will be going up for tomorrow. An ABC13 weather watch for the potential of severe thunderstorms and flooding. I'll unpack all of those details coming up in just a few minutes. All right, after a couple of really nice weather days, we are headed into another pattern here where we may get 4 or 5 active weather days. The first 3 days of the week going to lead to some scattered thunderstorms today, but then storms turning more likely Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, we've only issued the weather watch for Tuesday, but there's a chance that we may have to see this extended into Wednesday, depending on just how much rain, how many areas dealing with some flooding, and obviously the threat for severe weather if that continues for Wednesday as well. We do have a pretty high confidence that we are going to be dealing not just with the severe thunderstorms, but also the flooding potential. You can see that the flood risk elevated for Tuesday. Today's flood risk mainly out west and then expanding into all of southeast Texas, a level 2 out of 4 for most areas. And then you even have some parts of our northeast counties heading into Louisiana with a level 3 flood risk, knowing that the ingredients there may be more favorable for some higher rainfall totals. The areas that are under a flood watch beginning Tuesday morning into Tuesday night is just outside of Harris County, Montgomery County. So a few counties to our north also includes Grimes County, Brazos, and also out toward the east heading into Louisiana. A couple of counties in and around San Jacinto, Polk County, so the Piney Woods region also in the mix. So you look at the rainfall totals for today. Nothing too significant, although you can see a little bit more color, that shade of blue and purple, indicative of some higher rainfall totals, closer to an inch of rain potentially for our far northern counties. And then as we move that time stamp through Tuesday night, you can see more areas, especially north of I-10, will be getting more measurable rain, and some pockets of over 3, 4, even 5 inches will be possible. Now, it's not a slam dunk, but just something to note, especially as we get into that Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening time frame. The severe weather threat today stays mainly out to the west with some of those stronger thunderstorms, and then it'll be expanding further inland or further to the east with all of southeast Texas in the level 2 out of 5. So I want to share with you the primary threats. We've got 3 threats of severe weather. We've got hail, wind, and any sort of rotating thunderstorms, tornadoes. So we've broken it down here. The Storm Prediction Center releasing, this is some latest updates for you on the probability for severe winds. Severe winds up to 60 miles per hour or over 60 miles per hour. There is a 15% chance. Probability is highest in and around Houston. The further inland you go, lower, closer to the coastline. And then as far as hail is concerned, same probability, but it does look like we have some hatched areas where not only are you dealing with a hail threat, but also the potential of seeing golf ball size hail in this area that's hatched. And that does include Fort Bend, does include Harris County, areas off to the west if you're traveling out toward the hill country. Now, as far as any sort of rotating storms, the tornado threat is also anywhere between 2 to 5%. So the probability is slightly higher the further north you go, where you may see the ingredients a little bit more favor for some turning in the atmosphere, turning of those thunderstorms. Again, this will be mainly Tuesday heading into the afternoon and potentially into the evening hours. This is the rainmaker that's going to send those waves of showers and thunderstorms in our direction. So we have some time to prepare. This morning should stay nice and quiet. Temperature readings this morning are running just a few degrees warmer, but you will still notice that this morning, still some low humidity. The winds will be shifting as we get into the afternoon. They're going to be turning more out of the south, so that is going to increase the humidity and increase that chance of seeing those showers and thunderstorms form. So as we move forward into the afternoon, you'll notice some breezy conditions, some locally gusty areas as well. Those clouds will be returning by this afternoon. There's your 40% chance of widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, favoring a little bit more areas to our north. And then heading into Tuesday, we're going to have this lifting mechanism. We call it a warm front. That front is going to offer up some instability. The dynamics here is you've got the moisture in place, now you've got the lift, and this is where the strong to severe thunderstorms could form along that warm front late in the morning, during the afternoon, and the potential for more of those thunderstorms to roll through as we get into the evening and then slowly taper off. As far as temperature readings, again, nice and cool this morning. And then by this afternoon, warming into the upper 70s to low 80s. There's that storm chance. Again, you want to stay weather aware, an ABC13 weather watch. Still a 60% chance of storms on Wednesday. We slowly start to see the drop off in the rain. That low pressure system moves away. We get a nice little break in that humidity with a north wind, and you'll be noticing, feeling that lower humidity just in time for Mother's Day weekend.